This is the Samsung Galaxy S25. This mobile phone is equipped with the flagship cameras according to the Samsung, but it's almost the same as the previous series. This time it is coming with a new chip inside, so the image processing is going to be different, which you are going to see in this video. I tested these cameras in real scenarios to see how they perform. In this video, you are going to see how the photos and videos looks like during the daytime and nighttime conditions. This mobile phone can record at 8K, 24 or 30 FPS maximum like the previous models. First, have a glance at the camera specifications. This one comes with a triple camera on the back. The main one is a 50 megapixel that has extra features like OIS and dual pixel autofocus. The second camera is 10 megapixel telephoto, which offers 3x optical zoom with stabilization. And the third camera is a 12 megapixel. This is an ultra wide angle lens camera which captures a 120 degrees wide field of view. We get the features like LED flash, auto HDR, panorama and best face mode for enhanced selfies and group shots. It supports up to 8K videos, as I told just now. Either you can record at 24 or 30 FPS, followed by 4K at 30 or 60 FPS and slow motion at 1080p up to 240 FPS or 4K at 120 FPS. It also supports HDR10+, 10-bit HDR video and stereo sound with stabilization for cinematic video quality. On the front, it's a 12 megapixel wide-angle lens camera that comes with a dual pixel autofocus for sharper selfies. This also supports HDR and HDR10+ for better colors and contrast. With this camera, we can record videos maximum at 4K, 30 or 60 FPS. These are the photos taken outdoors during the daytime at different zoom levels. You can see the text below each image that shows how much magnification that I clicked these photos. We can click photos starting from 0.66 all the way up to 30x. The 30x photos are digital zoom images. In ultra models, we can click more than this, like 100x, which is not there in normal other two mobile phones. Even the Plus series also comes with 30x zoom range. There is some processing happen after clicking each and every photo. The 30x image loses all the details, unlike in all the other Samsung mobile phones. But if you ask me, it's not a big deal. See, we usually click the photos mainly by using the main camera, that too like less than 10x zoom range. So for this, the camera system is pretty good. After clicking these many photos, what I observed is, if you click photos in between 0.6x to 10x, the photos came out really good with overall details, sharpness, colors. Oh, by the way, all these photos were taken at 12 megapixel. If you want, you can click also these photos in 50 megapixel mode. But the file size increases and the zoom range is limited to 5x only. I also clicked the 50 megapixel photos. You can observe it here. I even checked the 12 megapixel images side by side with this 50 megapixel. Yes, there are some details in 50 megapixel, but it's not like too much difference. These are the photos taken with and without portrait mode using the front-facing camera. In portrait mode, the edge detection is actually good and improved a lot over the years. Also, this front camera supports autofocus and performs pretty well. Observe the overall sharpness of the images here. These are the panorama shots taken at 0.66 and 1x. The 0.66 looks a little bit weird compared to the 1x. And one more thing I observed is the photos look slightly underexposed compared to normal ones. These are some close-up shots taken with the main camera. Even though this phone doesn't have any specific lens to shoot close-up shots, it still manages well with the main camera like this. If you go to the settings in video mode, there is an option called subject autofocus or subject auto tracking. So this is a video where it is tracking the subject. You need to enable this feature in the settings. Of course, you have to. You need to tap once on the subject so it tracks it. But what I observed is it's not 100% accurate. If you move the subject a little fast, it fails to track, and focus on other things. As you can see here in this video clearly, it sometimes misses the focus. If the subject moves too far to the camera or away from the camera area, it becomes really tough to track again when you get back that subject into the frame. Now let's see the video footage from the back and front cameras recorded outdoors during the evening times. Also, I'll show you how it looks like if you record the videos in indoor conditions with a proper lighting and everything. This is the video recording from the front facing camera at 4K 30 fps. You can judge the stabilization as well as even the autofocusing is also there, so you can see the autofocusing as well. This is pretty good feature actually for this camera. This is the video recording at 4K 30 fps. This is in 0.6x mode. The beauty part is you can actually shift to different lenses like this while recording the video. Right now you are watching the video in 2x mode. This is 3x, this is 10x, and finally 12x. You can shift the video while recording from front to back or back to front. This is also a pretty good feature. So you can judge the stabilization as well, and I stretch my hand fully, so this is what you get the video from this mobile phone. This is the portrait video recording with the front facing camera. You can judge how the background separation is going on, especially you observe these edge parts. The drawback in this one is we can only record at 30 fps, no 60 fps option. But the good thing is we can record either in 1080p or in 4K. This is actually a really good thing. This is what the video looks like if we record in dual video recording mode. Actually this is recording at 1080p 30 frames per second. We cannot shift to 4K sadly here, but if you want you can shift the camera like this while recording the video, and even you can click the photos as well. So this is what the footage looks like, and the audio is also coming from the internal microphone. This is the 8K video at 30 frames per second and recording at 1x. This is 4x and 5x. But if you ask me, the 8K video is overkill for any mobile phone. So, but given the feature, yeah. The videos looks good with solid details, and the audio is decent too. The front camera performs well with autofocus. There are many options in the camera app. You can check out my other camera review video of Samsung to learn more. Or you can click the iCards to see the detailed camera app interface video, which I'm going to upload very soon. We can record log videos on this mobile phone. I actually planned to make a dedicated video on how it looks, followed by how to record it, then how to edit that as well. So stay connected by clicking the subscribe button and the bell icon next to it. If you record videos in indoor conditions with proper lighting, this is how the footage looks like with and without the portrait mode. Have a look at it. So this is how the video quality looks like that is recorded in S25 mobile phone in indoor conditions with good lighting setup. Actually, this is the same lighting setup that I use to record my main video with the help of the DSLR camera. So this is what, and you can observe the audio quality as well. Sometimes I shift to this external audio and sometimes to the internal audio. The mobile phone is almost 80 to 95 centimeters like distance from me. So this is what the footage looks like. And by the way, this is recorded at 4K 30 fps at 1x mode. No filters, nothing applied. This is a non-HDR video as well, just for reference I'm telling. And no portrait mode also enabled. Right now the video you're seeing is in the portrait video option. You can see the background separation, especially look at this like subject and background separation, how in the edges part. This is where Samsung struggles a bit. Even if I move my hands, you can observe how good it is actually separating it. And this video is recording at 4K 30 fps, and you cannot record at 60 fps in full HD or 4K in this portrait mode option. Only 4K 30 fps or full HD 30 fps is there. So for content creation videos, I'd say this camera is good. Even if you're vlogging, the selfie camera works well. thanks to the autofocus. We can record the videos at 4K 120 FPS slow motion. This is how the footage looks like. I highly suggest to use a gimbal or tripod while recording slow motions to avoid the unnecessary movements. So this is all about the daytime performance. I'll talk at the end of this video overall how I felt about these cameras. Now let's check the nighttime performance of these cameras. These are the photos clicked at different zoom levels. You can see the zoom level mentioned at the bottom. The photos are really good if you click in 1x, 2x or 3x zoom range. If you go beyond that, there is a lot of noise in the images and it's not brighter either. And also the 0.6x is also not that great here. The nighttime mode helps in providing better output. You can observe it here, side by side comparisons with and without the night mode photos. This is a panorama shot and it does not looks good at all. Previously I compared the S24 FE and the other mobile phones from different brands like Motorola, Google Pixel, Apple, etc. Those are really showing its performance in terms of camera, but this one, nah. These are the front facing camera photos. The glare around the edges you are observing is due to the screen protector and the transparent back case I'm using. So you won't get this if you click the photos without any screen protector, because the screen protector I'm using is completely covers the front camera. There is no cutout for that. The screen flash for the front facing photos is a good option, I can say, but if they given for videos also, it's really nice. You know what, it's not available. Now have a look at the video footage with front and back cameras at night time. This is the video recording during nighttime conditions in pitch dark condition actually. So you can observe how good the flash is splitting, and it's again the same. You can shift from 0.6x, then 1x, 2x, 3x, 10x and 12x. You can observe the shifting of the lighting in overall video during the adjusting the zoom range. This is the video recording from the front facing camera at 4K 30 FPS during now the time is 7 o'clock. It's almost getting dark. The drawback here is there is no screen flash option while recording the video. At least it can throw some light on the face in dark situations. It's going to helpful a lot, but this mobile doesn't. So in night conditions, if you're recording, this is how it looks, and there is no clarity as it is. So better you record videos only during the daytime or good lighting conditions. So finally, here is my overall experience and overall review of the Samsung S25 cameras after testing. The short and straight verdict is these cameras performs really well in daytime and good lighting conditions, but not in dull or low light situations. Talking about the video quality, yes, it is good, but you need a proper lighting. If not, it's not performing that great, even though it is having the lower aperture values. For this, like 80,000 rupees price, I'm expecting a more from these cameras. See, for this price, you can actually buy a proper DSLR camera from different brands. If you want, you can go with Sony ZV-E1, including the lens too. That performs way more better than these cameras. So if you're planning to buy this mobile only for cameras, I don't suggest it at all, paying this much money. And also I noticed that the photos from this mobile phone and the S24 FE looks almost similar. I'm actually testing and this video is under pipeline. I'll post a dedicated comparison video soon after reviewing this mobile phone. Also, this mobile phone gets a little warm while using the camera, which happens with almost all the mobile phones, but it's not overheating. So before concluding the video, again I'm stressing out, paying this much money for these cameras, it's not at all worth. If in case you want to use the mobile phone for 7 years or let's say like 6 years, choose the S24 or S24 Plus, where you are paying almost half the price of this mobile phone. I'm not saying this mobile is very bad, but for the price, it's bad. I think you got my point. That's the camera review of the Samsung Galaxy S25. Check the latest price of this mobile phone by clicking the link in the description box or in the product page. Also, you will find the other related videos about this mobile apart from the camera review. Those links are also available in the description box. Thank you so much for watching, and let me know in the comments what you are thinking about these mobile phones cameras, especially paying this much money and getting average cameras is okay or not for you. If in case you want to buy this mobile phone, even though it is priced at 81,000 rupees, for what you are paying for that money? Seriously, if you ask me, 50,000 is the capped for any mobile phone these days. Almost all the mobile phones that are coming now has a subtle changes but not huge improvements.